We're live into Facebook. This is episode 3. I feel like we've been doing this for a while, guys.
Feels that way.
For some reason, we just have a bunch of guys interviewing other people, which I don't even know if that's legit, but let's go with it. We have Ariel today. What's up, Ariel?
What's up? I'm not a guy. You guys can interview me.
Yeah, I know. Thank God you saved us all. Let's talk about approach here, because what we've seen on Brett, Randy, myself on just the lead generation side, people are always complaining that online leads suck, right? Or they always blame the tech, right? Because we get that all the time. And so we're talking to you today so that you can take us through the process of having real conversations with these online leads or just your database to be able to convert them to actual transactions, right? And so the last time we interviewed you, it was in Lab Coats, which was awesome. That was you and your mom. And I thought, I was like, whoa, you guys brought in a lot of information. So kind of want to continue in that path and talk about that. So first, I want Brett and Randy to introduce themselves, and then I'll go to you, Ariel. Brett, can you do a quick intro for those that don't know you?
I don't even know where to start. Usually Randy does my intros. This is weird.
Randy, do Brett's intro.
Brett, he is training for a triathlon and has lost 13 pounds.
That's me. I almost lost the full COVID-19. So there you go.
Damn. Also a Chime connoisseur, starting his own coaching in Chime. So hit him up with any Chime question. He's the go-to.
He's the Chime guy.
Randy,
the Chime guy. I like that. I'm gonna wear a shirt.
Guy. Just hashtag the Chime guy.
I'm doing it.
I am the Chime guy that works for Chime, actually. So Randy Carroll will work as the strategic partner manager. If there's any sweet tech companies out there that you guys think we should integrate with, send them to me.
I love it.
And I will see what we can do about it.
Nice. Thanks, buddy. And Ariel.
I am Ariel Blackwood. I've been in real estate only for about a year, but I used to say I got my GED in real estate because both of my parents were brokers. And so I fell right into the trap of, I'll never do real estate, and here I am. So I feel like I have a lot more experience than 1 year, but my mom is also my team partner. So anything I don't know, I'm going to let my mother answer this one, and then she takes it away. And I just talk to everyone, and I'm social.
You're lucky that your mom will answer those questions. My dad didn't talk to me when I got my real estate license. He said, I've been begging you to do this for years. You finally did it. I want nothing to do with you. And then I hired him as my office manager.
Mom, if you're on here, look out. You could be my manager soon.
I love that. Well, with that, let's get started. Ariel, you use Chime. You've been using it is it for a year for the time you've been in real estate, or no?
A little less than a year, but getting close. I started using Chime pretty much immediately after I got my license.
All right, cool. So are you currently getting online leads through it, or are you just using it for your database primarily? What does that look like?
So I don't use Chime for lead gen currently. I actually use Brian Short for Google PPC.
Ooh, I love that.
That's do.
Brian's the man.
Brian is the man. So some of the things that I'll probably talk about today are from Brian Short as well. But he works exceptionally well with Chime. So that's just been a really fluid transition. But so no, I do not, to answer your question, use Chime for lead gen currently.
All right, good. Let's talk about Google PPC then. As the leads come through, that Brian Shorts creates these opportunities for you through Google PPC. They come into Chime. What does that look like on the Chime side once they hit? Take us through that first.
Sure. So as soon as they hit, I get, new lead alert to every device that I own. I get an email that says follow up ASAP. And then it shows up on my new leads as Ryan Short Google. And so I know exactly where they came from. And then when I click on the lead, actually one of my favorite parts is I can see what they searched in Google. So I'm going to pull up that lead before I ever give them a call and see exactly what they searched in Google. So I'm in Atlanta. They might have searched Buckhead homes with a pool. That way, when I'm giving them a call, I already know they're interested in a home with a pool, and I can kind of connect with them on that level. So again, it just shows up under new leads in my Chime. I don't know if that succinctly answered your question.
Totally. It's important because that's one thing that some people don't look at. They just kind of say, oh, leads come in, let's just give them a call without really understanding the background of that. So with that, what do you think is the most important step in converting online leads? And I know that Brett can jump in on this, but I'm going to you, Ariel, and Brett, supplement anything that you think we're missing here.
So I'm going to say the number one most important thing in converting leads is going to be the follow-up. And then to touch on how that relates to Chime is that I've had several already. Again, I've only been in a year. I've already had several clients convert that I had never gotten on the phone. I had never gotten to respond to my texts, had them on a smart plan. I literally had blown up their phones, nothing. They might answer and then hang up. And after months of just dripping on them through a smart plan, they've responded, hey, I'm actually ready to buy. Thank you so much for being on top of it. Your emails are beautiful. I love all the properties you've sent me. Because again, I'm looking at what they've originally searched in Google, right? So I can touch on this later, but setting up a search that's customized for them. Thanks so much for keeping me in mind through all these months. I'm ready to make moves. I have no idea who these people are, but my Chime does. So I'm going to say follow up as the number one most important thing, and really using Chime to do that. And I know Brett has all kinds of cool statistics about that.
It's just don't give up after the first try. That's like the easiest thing. So many agents that I see, and it's hilarious because I've watched this for years, is I watch someone go, well, these leads suck, no one responds. And it's like, cool, why don't you just, hand them over to me? I'll deal with them. I've even gone as far as to, I've converted leads for people where I've said, hey, look, they're like, man, I've tried this and I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's like, cool, how will we do a 50-50 split? I convert them, you give me 50%. And they're like, well, no, wait a minute here. It's like, come on, let's do it. If you think they're that bad, it's all about the follow-up, and it's all about having automation. And people have tried doing this manually. And manual's great, but the problem is, we'll use, someone just saw my post in there today, we got 320 leads. That happened in a day. There's no way that I'm going to be manually following up with 320 people.
Are you sure you don't pick up the phone and dial each one of them, Brett?
Anna, the amazing assistant that the AI assistant has followed up with all of them. There's been like 91 of the 320 that did not get contacted.
I love that.
The thing about online leads is if you think they suck, then they do. You know what I'm saying? If that's the decision you've made, then that is the path you're going to go down, right? Like imagine mindset, you're sitting down and you're going to do your prospecting calls and you pull up your list of leads and say, oh, these suck before you've even talked to a single person. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, that's a great point, man. And a lot of us real estate agents, we look at the online leads that come through. Sometimes they only come with a good email and we're like, oh, this one sucks, right? And yet those end up being some of the most amazing ones. I've got a couple of questions for you, Ariel, too, and they're actually the same one, just asked differently. What specific smart plans are you using? Did you create your own? Because I noticed you said that you also have these beautiful emails, and I've seen the stuff that you put on Instagram, which is amazing. Do you create them on your own? What'd you say?
I said, everyone go follow me.
Oh, that was a cheap plug. I love it.
So actually, I just replied to one of those people. I actually use your 20 touches for 2020 campaign, Tristan, and I just went in there and edited it to sound like how I speak, and it's been great. I've used it on a couple of friends, sent it their way. Hey, what do you think about this? They've given me some input and I've just tweaked it. And that's honestly been my go-to smart plan. I do use another I use the Chime ones that are included, like buyer just looking. If they've literally replied to me just looking, no need to reach out, I'll put them on that, or I'll just let it drip on 20 touches.
Oh, I love that. All right. So I also just placed your Instagram on the chat so people follow her there. And how can we get access to it? Randy, I'm going to post up the 20 touches there so that we can talk about that. But
You know what? I was gonna say I'll post a smart plan as well.
do it. Perfect. Because I heard that you have some kind of okay ones. You know, some people are talking about you on social.
I have a couple. I mean, they're good. They're decent. They're okay. I'm not gonna toot my own horn here, but they're good. I'll drop one in. I'll drop one in the Chime group right now.
For those of you listening in, Brett has some amazing ones. That's why I was playing around with him. All right, so Ariel, what's one thing you'd add into smart plans if you could only choose one? Because there are a lot of things that on the back end that people get lost. They're like, well, if this happens, then this, right? It's like if then that, then that. So people don't even know that part of what you can do. But what would be one thing you would choose that say, hey, you know what? Above everything else, this is the one that everyone should be using, hands down.
All right, this is gonna seem trite. The let me know text gets them every time. Every time. Is that a Brett? Is that a Brett move?
They'll let me know. And my favorite one that I use, if you're not using the AI assistant, literally the best text you can send is, hey, first name. That's the first text that goes out. It should be, hey, first name. And everybody thinks I'm nuts when I do that. Because it'll be like, or some people have modified that to just say, so to go out and be like, hey, Randy, question mark. If that's Randy, Randy's going to be like, who is this? And now you've just started a communication with that person. That's what I use.
All right, great point on that, which kind of takes us a little bit into the AI. Ariel, are you using the AI? Do you have it on or no?
I turned it on this morning. So I stay tuned for some feedback on how it goes. But this morning is the first day I've turned it on. So I'm super excited.
What did you name yours, or did you leave it just normal?
I think I named mine Ariel's AI robot or something and put a cute little robot photo.
Oh,
Does some crazy, it sounds super robotic. I don't want them to think
I don't want them to think that it's actually you. I'm going to show people a new feature on there. Yeah, I remember that, the Facebook one. All right, let's go to AI really quick. And you're going to scroll down over to the left, AI assistant. Obviously, this is an extra feature. You want to pay for it, great. We all use it. Here's mine. His name's Grogu. I changed it last week. So you have little Grogu right there. And I changed it. It says, hi there. So great to have you here. I'm Grogu. How can I help you today? So the idea behind it is to, for us and for Brett and Ariel now, is for people to know that either this isn't real or it's your assistant, right? And that's important because I think once you start saying it's you and then you don't know how that conversation's going and then you're going to transfer it over to you, it can get a little bit hairy. What are you showing us here? Oh, nice.
Ariel Blackwood.
Little cute robot. I love that. That's so good. That's so good. Thanks for showcasing that.
Thanks, Randy.
Tristan, that is the most nerdy thing possible, that you use its actual name instead of Baby Yoda, because to the rest of the world, it's Baby Yoda.
You know what's funny? My agent texted me last night at midnight. He goes, is this for real? Are we really doing this? I'm like, I'm testing this out, dude. I don't know. Whatever works. Anyway,
what if it's amazing? That's hilarious.
So, Ariel, what's the most effective tool you think in Chime to get responses? Is it that nudge text that you've been pushing out, which says "let me know," or is it something deeper than that, like actually sending consistent touches? What is it?
Yeah, so to get people to respond and start a conversation, I would say the let me know text or the nudge. I have one that's just their name, question mark, if they haven't responded in like 7 messages.
Okay.
But I've seen the most quality response and conversion from customizing a search immediately, looking at what they searched in Google. And I have a certain way that I customize each search and just letting it drip on them, because they truly feel like every morning at 8:30, I sit down at my computer and find all the properties that may or may not be a fit for them based on what they've searched, and they feel special, and that's great. I want them to. And so that's what I've seen to be the biggest deal with people. Like, oh my gosh, I've never replied to you, and you've sent me these every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 6 months. Thank you.
Don't you have a few $1 million clients in the pipeline because of that?
I do. I have a $2 million client in the pipeline.
Ooh.
That was, a year or two out of 6 months ago, that I send mail to her address.
Wait, like actual mail? Like
Yes.
actual mail?
Actual letters. I've got these little just note cards. This is actually one ready to go out to $1 million client right now.
All right, so hold on. Randy, you asked a really good question. Take us through that process, Ariel. When you connect with somebody, let's say for this one that you have in the pipeline, you connected with them over the phone, because I'm assuming you don't just send out mail to everybody. It's like, hey, right? You connected with them. Take us through that conversation, and then what happens next?
Sure. So when I first get them on the phone, or maybe I see them on the opportunities and I immediately call them, say that I have them on the phone in person. I talked about this in the LCA webinar, but it was a big game changer for me to get people to open up, to lower my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Or like this, my voice is naturally not very high. And I realized I would get on the phone and say, hey, this is Ariel with the Blackwood team. I mean, that is so not me, like, at all. And so people didn't feel comfortable, and my voice was cracking, and I was getting hoarse, and it was exhausting, and nothing good was coming of it. So when I think about lowering my voice, sometimes I'll slouch in my chair. Hey, it's Ariel from AtlantaHomes.io. How are you?
Oh.
The number of people that open up immediately after that is absurd. Like, I truly, I can't believe it. But so I'll ask, hey, this is my website that I'm from. How are you today? And I just kind of ask their story, and what's going on? What has you looking in the Brookhaven area? Again, because I've got their search pulled up.
Mm-hmm.
I know what they searched. Cool. Tell me about that. Are you living there now, or what's got you interested in it? Just asking as many questions as possible. And I think the most questions I've had to ask until we had something in common that we could bond on is like 5 or 6. And by that point, I can just take it from there. Oh my gosh, have you seen that? Have you been to that new restaurant over there? Blah, blah, blah. Just getting people comfortable on the phone has been huge.
I think that has a lot to do with the way you are, right? Personality. You seem to be very kind and open. So what would you suggest to people that are struggling with online leads? How do you get them to that point where at the end you're writing them a note and saying, hey, right? That's a step that people skip and don't even think of. And I mean, like, I don't think I've ever written a note, right? First, somebody's going to admit that. But I mean, that's an awesome move. I want to do that. I'm going to send the recording over to my team. And I'm like, see, you guys don't do this shit, even though I don't do it. But, Brett, what do you think of that, dude?
I am a huge fan of the handwritten note. Huge fan. I am not organized enough to do that myself. So yes. I have a service that does that for me.
What service?
So I'll link it. Basically, it's a couple of guys that built a couple of handwritten they're handwriting bots, wow. And they will send out notes for you, and they are amazing. And you can link your Chime site to them.
Oh, nice.
There was one I saw at a conference where they literally they take these 2 lines, right, and they put them on the corners of like a desk or a table, and this bot uses those two lines as like pulley systems to move it around. And it looks, and it literally has an ink pen inside of it.
That's
and
what this is.
Okay. It
Oh.
looks like an actually handwritten card. I guess I can't remember their name, so I'm glad you have that in the chat there.
I put handwritten in there, but I'm not sure that that's the one Brett was referring
okay.
to.
No, I'll get it for you.
It was super cool when I saw it. I was like, wow, that looks like it.
That's a good point. So Ariel, let's go back to the notes that you actually write out, because I think that adds another step to what a lot of us aren't doing. And this is why you're having a big success with converting them, right? So can you talk about what you do on the listing alert side? Do you customize that after you finish talking to them, or do you just kind of let it go?
So if I'm not able to get them on the phone, I just use what they searched in Google that I get from my PPC, my Brian Short lead. When I am able to get them on the phone, I ask them specifically, okay, I know you've got kids in X school. I know you told me these things. Repeat things back to them, even if you're not, like you were saying, what advice do you have for people who struggle more with being open? Repeat things back to them. People love to hear what they've said. They love to hear about themselves. So repeat back to, one, verify that you're listening, and two, just say what they said again. People love themselves. So repeat that back to them. Hey, what else can I put as I create this customized search for you so that I can be sure that any properties that come my way will be directly sent to you, and I'm not sending you ugly houses. And people, I think the ugly houses thing is also from your 2020 smart plan, and people love that because that's just like a normal thing. You would say, oh, she sent me this ugly house. Hey, I don't want to send you ugly houses. So I ask specifically, what are other things? If you're looking for a condo, I mean, there are so many options. What do you have a max on HOA fees? What kind of style do you like? Oh, you only like ranch? Great. I can put that in my chime too. So, and then they feel more special as well because I'm creating a customized search just for them.
Well, Ariel, I think the biggest objection we get, just hands down on every online lead almost, is, oh, I'm just looking, I'm just browsing, right? And that comes in almost at every conversation. If I'm saying that to you, how do you circumvent that? It's like, hey, Ariel, thanks for calling me, but I'm just looking, I'm just browsing. What happens then? How do you continue that conversation?
Yeah, that's awesome. Feel free to continue using my site for free. Is there a specific area you like looking at the best? And then that opens them up. Well, so actually it's for my daughter. Or this actually just happened last week. Well, I'm just looking. I said that. Is there a specific area? Actually, it's for my daughter. She's already been pre-approved. She wants this. She's not working with an agent. Okay, so great. I'd love to help her. When can I get in touch with her? And then now I'm in touch with her daughter. So
I feel like when people tell us I'm just looking, I'm just browsing, they're really telling us, all right, well, look, if you really want to help me, show me some value. What do you got?
All right, so I'm gonna chime in on this one because I don't know if you guys, I am actively searching for a house right now. And no, I'm not gonna tell you where because I do not want to be bombarded by anybody. Well, we already know who I'd use for that, and I'm out of California, man. No, but seriously, so I am registered right now. I'm like the perfect example of a typical lead. I am registered on about 17 IDX websites right now.
Yeah.
Of those 17, I want to give you guys statistics because that's kind of what I'm here for. I'm the statistics guy. The Chime guy, or chimeguy.com, was already taken. Adam Frank beat me to it by 1 minute. And so literally he registered chimeguy.com. So I'm like, damn it. So I registered thechimeguy.com. But anyway, so thank you, Adam. I've already made fun of him for that. But here we go. So statistically, if you look at all those people, out of those sites that I'm on, two have reached out to me thus far. I'm registered on all those sites, and only 2 have reached out to me.
Ooh.
Of those 2 that have reached out to me, 1 has blown my phone up, like legitimately 3 to 4 times a day has been calling me, texting me. They got my email address. They're emailing me. they're gone. I picked my agent based on the one that has sent me valuable information. Here is what you're looking for. Here is how you can stay safe in this area because it's known for natural weather. I'm not going to tell anybody where it is, but there's weather there. So I get a little freaked out about weather. I like Southern California. Point being, send valuable stuff and people will respond. The I'm just browsing, I'm just looking, that kind of stuff, that doesn't do anything. That doesn't mean anything because I tell people I'm just looking all the time. Yeah. You never know. I mean, I'm actively searching, but I've told the 2 people that reached out, I'm just looking, I'm just browsing. I have no intent.
That's so funny, dude. It's so important because so I'm always picking up investment properties and I just go to agents that I see on lab coats that are actively giving value. And I'm like, I'm going to go to them. And so I just reach out to them. I'm like, hey, give me the properties in this area because they've already built that on the back end. And it's the same thing as what Brett's saying. So that's very, very important. Good job on that, guys. Ariel, go ahead.
On showing value, something I just started doing recently is if I get someone to respond something, or even if I don't, I'll look back at whatever area they were searching. Hey, I just had a client order a market report for Buckhead. Would you like me to send one your way as well? And again, you're showing value. It's a market report. It's easy peasy to go into Chime, order a preview to myself and copy and paste it and send it to their email immediately. And half the time I'll say, do you want me to send you one? When they say yes, I say, okay, is this the best email for you? No, that's my junk email. Use this one. Ding, now I've got their good email that they're going to be checking. No wonder they haven't opened any of my 42 messages. Now I've got them.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2021. Everyone has an email address that they register on websites with that they are not interested in actually getting ongoing communication with. That's standard practice, right? So I have 4 email addresses. Of course, one is a junk email. So like asking those comments, like what's the best email it can be the difference between getting in front of them consistently and them never seeing your email ever again.
So is that why you never respond to my emails?
I was just about to say, I think he might send you to his Yahoo.
If my email address was my junk email address, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
So funny, guys. So good. All right. So Ariel, I have one last question for you. And if you guys have any, chime in here, obviously. Chime in. Damn it. I said chime in and it wasn't even on purpose. All right. Ariel, I have a question in regards to how you nurture long-term. Do you categorize your leads a certain way, like A, B, C, D, E, or do you just gravitate to them based on how often they're searching? What does that look like for you on long-term nurture?
So I have attempted contact 1, 2, 3, nurturing, cold, warm, hot. And I mean, you can obviously customize those however you want. I like to set tasks for myself to remind me on certain people. So when I complete one task, I'll set a task for 3 months from now. Hey, ask her how her new job's doing. Hey, ask or, congratulate them on getting married, whatever the event is. But overall, I keep warm and hot. Obviously, I interact with them the most, but even if somebody's a year out, I put them in warm because then when I go through my warm leads, I'm going to be sending a card, right? And I've got all the tasks set up for them. Tasks work well for me. And sometimes I just do the tasks on my phone too. Hey, Siri, remind me in 3 months at noon, send a card to this woman. I don't think that's the most organized way to do it, but you should be doing it in your Chime.
All right. And then what if somebody says they already have an agent? Do you nurture them still? What do you do with those?
There is a smart plan in Chime that says buyer, working with another agent. And I just don't put it on every day to drip on them, but I just tell them, hey, feel free to keep using my site and for free. Always put that in there and let me know if I can ever be a resource for you. I've actually had people call me and ask questions they've wanted to leave their realtors. They've ended up not, but they are like, oh my gosh, I was already just too deep with him or her, but I want to send all my friends to you because you helped me out and it took me 10 minutes on the phone. So especially getting my business started, that's been really helpful. I just say, hey, I'm happy to be a resource for you. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Best of luck to you, and just keep them on a drip.
I love that. All right. For those of you who missed episode 1, episode 2, we're working on putting it onto the YouTube channel. So that'll be up. For now, it's inside of the Facebook community. It's the Chime Facebook community. If you're not in, go ahead and jump in and search for their episode 1, episode 2 of Chimein. And it's just been us going through. The first one was us interviewing Brett and then interviewing Adam Frank, which was a fun one because I think, Brett, is that when you took up the Chime Guy and Chime Guy right after that or during?
No, it was literally while we were on this call today. So Adam's on this call right now. So when you mentioned it, he legitimately, like he and I don't know if you noticed me, but as soon as I was like, yeah, I'm the Chime Guy, I literally went over to register the domain name.
What is he doing?
Ariel's talking, and I'm over here just like, and I looked and I was like, oh, it's available, sweet. And then literally as I hit register, Adam nailed it right as I hit register. And I was like, dang it. And I messaged him like, did you get that? He goes, yeah. I'm like, damn it. Hey, so in the, since we don't have time for it, in the chat, I linked how I follow up with everybody. So I actually gave you guys a link to literally everything. And if you're in the Facebook group, look for the picture of my beautiful other half flying an airplane. If you're like, why is this airplane thing in here? That's the same thing. I have the link in there as well, so you can, the post makes sense. I swear.
All right, so we've got theletterjet.net, right? And then we've got that shortened link that you're talking about, your follow-up, right?
Yeah, both of those have theletterjet.net. Make sure that you mention my name and they will give you my pricing on it. I've beat them up pretty badly for you.
Good.
So they are, if you mention my name, they don't like when they lose a lot of money that way, but it works.
Good, good. All right. Ariel, did I miss anything that you wanted to talk about here at closing?
I don't think so. Just point out.
Oh, jeez.
I have this and Randy doesn't.
When is that going on the wall? That's what I want to know.
It's going to go like right here.
It can
go like right here, right here. It might actually end up on this wall. I'm not sure which wall it's going to end up on.
I would like it behind you.
I'd like it
I
behind
would
you
too. That way you can like, it looks like we could order food while we're on a webinar. That makes me, dang it, I'm hungry.
More than a realtor.
Ariel, thanks for being on. Let's do like a part 2 to this because I'd like to talk further about how you're nurturing those A and B clients.
Okay.
You're doing a really good job with those. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. Brett, Randy, Ariel, signing off.
See you guys.
Bye.
Au revoir.